One drug maker has come a step closer to distributing a vaccine. That is, if the involuntary bankruptcy filing against it doesn't get in the way. Protein Sciences Corporation of Meridian, Connecticut is a privately held vaccine maker that last week won federal approval to kick off clinical trials of its vaccine for the H1N1 or swine flu virus. The Hartford Courant reported that means Protein Sciences pan-block vaccine will be tested on humans as soon as the next few weeks. Such trials have already started in Australia, where winter and flu season are underway. The FDA stamp of approval doesn't mean it will be smooth sailing for Protein Sciences. However, the company was hit with an involuntary Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing last month by three creditors owed $11.7 million. So again, these guys need to keep their head above water. The creditors want their money. They'll do whatever the establishment says. Roll up your sleeves, folks. Take the poison injection. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas sitting in. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv, and don't forget, truthnews.us. We are back. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas sitting in. Alex coming up in the second, third, and fourth hours with Wayne Paul, Dr. Laibow, General Stubblebine, and Bob Cohen. I want to take this quick second to thank one of our great sponsors. There's what makes this show possible, EcolaBlue.com. That's ECOLO Blue.com. You can call them at 1-800-691-6043. Folks, it's the best purified water maker out there, in my opinion. I mean, you don't even need to plug this up to a sink, a faucet at all. It pulls water from the air, goes through reverse osmosis, the whole nine, gives you a cold button, a hot button. It is just the coolest thing, and it tastes delicious. EcolaBlue.com, 1-800-691-6043. All right, I want to get into this article right here. The truth about lying. We are a culture of liars, but he doesn't say maybe we should clean up our act. What does he say? Maybe we'd all benefit from brushing up on our skills. It's meant to be funny, but it's also a more serious commentary on us all. As Americans, we like to think we value the truth. Time and time again, public opinion polls show that honesty is among the top 5 characteristics we want in a leader, friend, or lover. The world is full of woeful stories about tragic consequences of betrayal. At the same time, deception is all around us. We are lied to by the government and its officials and public figures to a disturbing degree. Many of our social relationships are based on little white lies we tell each other. So far, this guy's spot on. We deceive our children, only to be deceived by them in return. And the average person, says psychologist Robert Friedman, the author of a new book on lying, tells us at least 3 lies in the first 10 minutes of our conversation. There's always been a lot of lying, says Feldman, whose new book, The Liar in Your Life, came out this month. But I do think we're seeing a kind of cultural shift where we're lying more. It's easier to lie, and in some ways, it's almost more acceptable. Let's see. As Paul Elkman, one of Feldman's longtime lying colleagues and the inspiration behind Fox TV's Lie to Me, that's the one with Tim Roth, he defines a liar as a person who intends to mislead deliberately without being asked to do so by a target of the lie, which doesn't mean that all lies are equally toxic. Some are simply habitual, like my pleasure, while others might be altruistic. But each, Feldman argues, is harmful because of the standard it creates, correct? And the more lies we tell, even if they're little white lies, the more deceptive we as a society become. We are a culture of liars, to put it blatantly, with deceit so deeply ingrained in our psyches that we hardly even notice we're engaging in it. Spam email, deceptive advertising, the everyday pleasantries we don't really mean. Oh, it's so great to meet you. I love that dress. Have become an omnipresent white noise we've learned to tune out. It's true. We're disingenuous. We lie to ourselves every day. We think things are going to get better. I mean, when you see quotes like this, oh, I think Obama's faking right and ready to go left. I'll be shocked if he keeps 50,000 troops in there. Are you lying to yourself? Are you lying to us? Are you lying to both, Mr. Moore? Because that is just utterly ridiculous. He goes on through this whole thing to talk about the modern world, how we loved Bill Clinton and other politicians like them, and all they are liars. But again, the author of the book says it's detrimental, but the author of this article says, hey, whatever, we need to just brush up on it. They also talk about Spitzer and Mark Sanford, the guy who just got caught with that woman out in Argentina. But what's really detrimental, not those small things, that we're lying to ourselves that this health care bill isn't that dangerous? Sure, there are town hall meetings, but what's in the backdrop? Well, the cap and trade is in the backdrop, and that's already gone through Congress. This climate bill that's going to end up costing us even more money. Yes, the health bill may cost us our lives in the end, but what kind of a life are we going to have when our electric bills go up 4 times, and we're not allowed to have 2 cars per family, and they start putting restrictions on the amount of children we're able to have, and they start charging us to send our children to school if it's too many? What happens then? I mean, that's what we're lying to ourselves about. We're lying to ourselves that Ted Kennedy was a great man. He was not a great man. And by the way, as I predicted yesterday, this garbage is everywhere. It's even on the infotainment channels. I'm up at like 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes. Last night, I'm clicking through the stations, and all I get is what the antenna gets. So I get the main 3 and some other ones. So, I'm watching the Hollywood Insider. Ted Kennedy's there. I'm watching Entertainment Tonight. Ted Kennedy's there. And it's like Ted Kennedy on a yacht, and he championed all these workers' rights, and I have to hear about No Child Left Behind. It's all garbage. Head Start program. Look, like I said yesterday, and I forgot to mention that his nephew got killed as well. Let's face it, JFK Jr., his death stinks as well. And he didn't step up then either. He didn't step up on his deathbed. He didn't call out the criminals that killed his family. So again, I got no love for him, and now the establishment is using his death to try to promote this health reform. Oh, we had brain cancer. If we caught it early enough with this new health bill, everything would be okay. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas, sitting in. PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.